Well, I'm thinking of a couple I just recently said goodbye to because they were feeling very done. Um, and the man had gotten involved with an old flame and was involved with her off and on, I don't know, quite a while, months, if not a year. And the wife found out through a cell phone message that she discovered. She, of course, did the brush with death thing, and was very firm that she was going to need to really think about this. And he was so broken about this because he never wanted to really lose his wife. He just sort of enjoyed this. You know, he was confused, but he was also just enjoying this shiny relationship on the side without baggage. And anyway, what they once this came out in the open, and he was scared to death he was going to lose his wife and family. She let him. I think he was gone for a little bit, but they stayed together, and they had spent hours and hours talking, trying to figure out where their marriage had become vulnerable to an affair. And she was willing to take a look at herself too. She didn't blame herself, but she also wanted to figure out what is it that he saw and was getting from her. And it turns out this other woman was very needy. And the wife, early on, had gotten the impression from her husband that if she cried, he would see this as a weakness and would not tolerate it. It was some little reaction he gave to one time that she cried. From then on, she determined to be strong. And she realized that she had closed up and hadn't really been able to share her feelings when she was hurt because she thought he would think she was weak. So during those hours and hours of sleepless nights and talking and talking and talking, they began to uncover their real selves, and they started sharing on a deeper level than they had ever shared before. A lot of old confessions about things before they were married. I mean, they just cleaned house, and it just was amazing. But they were both loving people. He did everything I recommend in my book, which we'll talk later. Automatically, you know, when he read my book, he went, "Oh yeah, I was doing that, and I did that, and I did that," and it was just kind of cool. And she was a very loving person, and she chose not to take it super personally in terms of her being a horrible, awful person, but she did take ownership of the fact that she probably needed to change in her relationship, and so she became more open, more vulnerable, more transparent, and they are happier today than they ever were before this happened. They didn't even know what they were missing before this happened. So their crisis became an opportunity for growth. Now that doesn't mean that they would wish this on anyone or even on themselves again. The trauma was horrible, but they like their relationship now, and other people around them are kind of jealous because they are so in tune with one another, and they did the hard work.